Welcome back to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
It's been a tight game throughout, and it remains.
I just hit random 5 times.
That's what she said. She said, say less.
Yeah, what it do?
You already got me, baby. Say less. Say less. Talking so
In the only building this franchise has ever known. We're at the home of the Texans. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Kaimi Fairbairn ready to get this one going. And away we go from NRG Stadium. Ty Chandler to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw right away. And the connection not quite there yet on his opening throw of the game.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
First carry here for Aaron Jones. He's going to snag a couple of yards charging up the gut. Christian Harris on the stop. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Putting the tight end in motion. Here he is on 3rd and long. Almost an opening drive interception, but that winds up on the ground. Incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Hey, Kate, you feeling lucky? Well, the quarterback is, because he just dodged a major turnover. That was an easy pick that was simply dropped.
Here's the snap on 4th. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. They stun the defense with a gain of 14 on 4th down and pick up the first.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best, and you get to see how you handle the most pressure, and it turns out well, they handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. A give left side to Jones. Breaks the tackle, still going. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Hutchinson reels it in. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after looks like a yard gain. Look at Jimmy Ward getting up there to make that stop. 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Ask for a little bit more on that one. That's that running back to come up with more than he's used to on 3rd down. He made it look like just another day at the office. I wouldn't expect every conversion to go as smoothly.
We've got a fumble pretty close to midfield. And the Texans.
Damn, like 8 press pies too. Like you doing something? Alright. I'm finna put my helmet on now. I'm finna lock in. He still got a whole lot.
And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
Well, you can just see the QB scanning, can't you? He's moving, he's looking downfield, but everything covered up on the back end. That second and third level defenders did their job, and what did it do? Well, it freed that pass rush up to strip the ball away from the QB.
And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
And they're going to bring him down at the 39-yard line. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Stroud now on 3rd. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That one goes for 25 yards. And it sets up a Houston first. So that connection for a first will bring us to the end of the first. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. Welcome back. Time for our second quarter. The Texans with a chance to score. 1st and 10, a run to Mixon. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Keeping it with Mixon. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
You know, kid, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
He's got the ball on the sideline. Ooh, difficult play, small gain, but it counts. First down. Mixon has nothing on that run. They stand strong and stop him at the 2.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you've still got 2.
And he's in for the touchdown. The Texans get the game's first points here in the second. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. So now the Texans decide not to pull the offense. They're not kicking. They're going for 2. Motioning left is their running back. He's throwing for it. Oh, try forcing it to the slant. It's intercepted. And the Vikings can only get the return up towards the 10 before they're taken down. Could have been 7 if they tried the point after, but instead, they only call on him to boot this away. Chandler now on the return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And a great return has the offense just a touch shy of midfield as they start this drive.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
Starting the drive with a give to Jones. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Derek Stingley putting that play to bed. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Darnold now to throw. Gets everything he has under this throw. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
With all due respect to some of the great linebackers back in the day, to play the position today, man, you've got to be versatile. You can't just be a come up and stuff the run. You got to play coverage. And these defenses more and more rely on you to be.
The Texans close it in, and they will get him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Not the first time you said his name today, Kate. No surprise seeing him add a sack to this total. The same nose to the football that helped him recover a fumble earlier, what aided him in the pursuit of the QB. And he nearly forced a fumble of his own on that sack right there.
That's incomplete on 4th down, and they'll turn over possession.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though.
Oh, tried forcing it to the slant. It's intercepted. And the Vikings take over just shy of the 40. Somewhat surprising interception there, Brock. You don't see nearly as many of those on shorter, safer throws like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. Coordinators and coaches offensively look for layups, Kate. You like basketball, right? They look for layups, easy, gimmies. And in the short field, that usually is the case. But not against a defense like this, and not a defense that has the...
This is brought in at the 50. It's a Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings tie it in the final minute of the half. Jordan Addison, the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find...
That one splits the uprights, and they'll take the lead. Here's Reichard, set to kick this away. Damian Pierce now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Ivan Pace able to make the stop.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Pass caught by Tate Dell. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Finds a seam down the middle. He's able to get this to the 32 before going down. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Chooses to bring this one out. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll begin with a run by Mixon. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 28 out of that play. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Mixon on the counter. This is ahead for about 5. Harrison Smith in on the stop. Give him 5 on that carry. Bring it up 2nd and 5. On the ground again with Mixon. And it's a 3-yard gain through the traffic. Ivan Pace able to make the stop.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if we see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Throwing now, 3rd and 2. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and you couldn't do it.
They hit for 16 yards on 4th down, and a drive we all thought had stalled out is going to carry on. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, a give to Mixon. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. This one intended for the running back. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. From the gun, Stroud.
Come on,
That's
boy.
caught for the first. And for the Houston touchdown. So that's an important score here as they move out in front.
This is the time of the game where your legs just get a little bit tired. But that was a determined-looking drive right there. They were not going to be denied, and they're able to score and take the lead.
So the Texans going to run it back, try for another 2-point conversion. They want to run it across. And he reaches the end zone to the 7-point lead. Notice the first time they tried it, but this time, Brock, the 2-point conversion is successful.
Just felt like they were waiting for the right opportunity to try it once again. Not only to make up for the first attempt, but establish a little confidence from this spot. And who knows, maybe we'll have a 2-pointer that plays a bigger role when this thing's all said and done.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Chandler now on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Straight ahead they go with Jones. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. From the 29. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That sure ended up being worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut my losses and avoid such a negative play. That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. He's back to throw. And they won't do it. So that ball's incomplete on 4th down.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
3 quarters in the books from this one. It's the Texans in possession of it, needing to preserve that lead over one final quarter. Offense to the line for 2nd down. They'll give to Mixon up the middle. And he'll have a short pickup down to the 17. Moving in the right direction that time, but only 2 yards picked up, so it's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Cut by Collins on the slant. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal. They're going to run here. It's Mixon. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're rolling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in. Out of bounds.
What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. So a timeout comes in. It looks like the defense using its first stops this game as we get close to our 2-minute warning. He'll throw it. They can't connect as the coverage comes through with a 4th down stand.
You go for it on 4th down. It's got to be something from the short list of plays you expect to work every time. If that one's on the short list, I think it's got to be reevaluated. Something wasn't working on it, and it cost them a possession.
Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. That takes us to the 2-minute warning in Houston. Vikings losing by 7. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Back to throw.
Ooh,
Try and push it deep downfield. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. Looking at a tough spot to punt it away if this 3rd down is unsuccessful. Throwing now. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Minnesota spends its 2nd time out here. All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. He'll get this to Jefferson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Setting up to pass. Into the hands of Jefferson, complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's gain and a 1st down. He'll look to throw it. To the right, hauled in by Jefferson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Throwing with a blitz on the way. He's got it near the 8. And he gets him the touchdown. And now a potential game-deciding play call coming up. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for 2 and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the head coach. Does he trust his offense more to go get this 2-point conversion, or is he going to lean in his defense and believe that they can get the stop?
So a pivotal moment for the Vikings as they go for 2. Here's Darnold to throw. And this is caught. Oh, he gets them 2 points, and with those, they've got the lead.
Yes, sir. It was ugly for a minute.
Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Pierce now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Timeout coming from the Texans. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. They're out and set. 1st and 10. On play action, here's Stroud. Cut by Diggs. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. Hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
So the Vikings pick up the win on the road. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for Brock Heward, everyone here on our great crew, I'm Kate Scott, and this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings emerge as winners, as we'll see you next time from Houston.
And I just put my drink down. Poodle, y'all think run this. Miss she, her black. Designer say Gucci, Prada print. DOE, I'm a condo rich. Big Dolce, Diva, Don.